Welcome back to Matters, where we dive into the latest global events and their implications. Today, we're exploring a critical situation unfolding in Bangladesh, riots that have led to the Prime Minister fleeing the country. Let's break down what led to these unprecedented events, the demands of the protesters, and the current whereabouts of the Prime Minister. Over the past few weeks, Bangladesh has been rocked by intense riots that have captured global attention. What started as a series of protests has escalated into widespread unrest, leaving many questions about the causes and the future of the country. To understand why these riots are happening, we need to look at the broader context. Bangladesh has faced political and economic challenges for years. However, recent events have exacerbated tensions to a boiling point. The recent riots were triggered by contentious issues related to the job quota system. The proposed reforms to this system ignited widespread protests due to concerns about equity and fairness. This new law, aimed at tightening control over various sectors, was seen by many as a direct threat to democratic freedoms and civil liberties. The job quota system was designed to allocate a certain percentage of government jobs to specific groups, including freedom fighters' descendants, ethnic minorities, and other designated categories. The system faced criticism for being perceived as unfair by those outside the designated groups. Many argued that it created imbalances and perpetuated inefficiencies within the public sector. Recent proposals to reform or reduce the quotas triggered widespread backlash. The government proposed changes aimed at reducing the quota allocations and increasing merit-based hiring processes. These proposed changes were met with strong resistance from groups that benefited from the existing quota system. Protesters feared that the reduction of quotas would marginalize their communities. Protesters took to the streets to voice their opposition to the government's plans. The protests quickly escalated into violent confrontations with law enforcement. Demonstrators clashed with police. The protesters, who are from diverse backgrounds, have made their demands clear. The unrest is also fueled by broader issues such as corruption, economic inequality, and perceived government ineptitude. As the riots intensified, the situation became increasingly dangerous for key political figures. In response to the escalating violence and threats, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina was forced to flee the country. Reports indicate that the Prime Minister escaped under heavy security, with a carefully orchestrated plan to ensure her safety. Initially, she sought refuge in a neighboring country. This move was part of a broader strategy to defuse the immediate threat to her life and to manage the political crisis from a safer location. As of now, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina is in India, where she is reportedly engaging in diplomatic efforts to address the crisis. Her team is working to negotiate with various stakeholders, including opposition leaders and international bodies, to find a resolution to the unrest. The international community has closely monitored the situation. Many countries have expressed concern over the violence and the implications for democratic governance in Bangladesh. The situation in Bangladesh remains fluid. Diplomatic pressure was mounting on the Bangladeshi government to address the protesters' grievances and to seek a peaceful resolution. The key will be finding a way to address the legitimate concerns of the protesters while restoring stability. There will need to be significant dialogue and compromise to move forward. Some groups are pushing for dialogue between the government and opposition, hoping to find common ground and restore peace. Despite the chaos, there are efforts underway to de-escalate the situation. The future of Bangladesh hinges on how effectively the government and its opponents can navigate this turbulent period. The global community watches with bated breath as the nation seeks a path to stability and reconciliation. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the recent events in Bangladesh. If you found this video informative, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on this and other global news stories. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let us know what you think will happen next in Bangladesh.